Hi, my name is Dawn Hanna. I'm the web coordinator for the University of Iowa College of Education. I'm pleased to bring you a three-part video series covering web accessibility. In this first video, we will talk about why it's important. In the second video, I will cover how you can implement some strategies into your website. And then the third video, I will tell you how to verify your accessibility and to test other resources. All right, so let's get started. Why is accessibility important? Well, before we talk about why, let's talk about what it is. So, web accessibility in the beginning was all about providing equal access to those with disabilities on the communications and information that fully abled individuals could obtain. Now that technology has taken the web and put it into places that it never was before, back when this was originally created, it has taken on an even greater meaning that goes beyond disabilities and just says all users should have equal access. So what does it mean to be accessible? Web accessibility gurus like to use the acronym POUR, P-O-U-R. It stands for perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. So perceivable. Materials have to be seen or heard by everyone. So that means if you have an image, it has text equivalent. If you have video or audio, there's captions, transcripts, stuff like that. Making sure that if you have a graph that has important data, you also have a text equivalent so people who can't see the graph still know what the importance of the graph is. There's also issues with color blindness and low vision, and we'll get into all those later. Operable. Can users control the functionality and navigation? So one of the verification tools that we will go over is just the tab test, the no mouse test. Making sure that users, no matter how that they're accessing your site, can use it. This even includes don't use Flash in your websites because it won't work on anybody's iPad or iPhone, and that's a huge audience that is missing out on your content. Understandable. So understandable is, are you presenting your material in a meaningful way? Do your links make sense? Do you have proper structure and navigation? Do people understand from one page to the next? Will they know where your menus are? What is main content and what is extra? Robust. We talked about the web is everywhere. So robust is it responsive? Does it go from desktop to tablet to smartphone? Does it respond well to changes in size? Is it slim enough that in a low bandwidth situation it works? Is it made so that, is it simple enough that moving forward to the next generation of technology, will it still work? Now, these might be beyond your scope of what you're thinking about. You're just like, okay, I just want a basic website. Okay, we'll take it back a little bit. All right, so now that you know what accessibility is and you have an idea of what it means to be accessible, let's talk about who benefits. Everyone. More specifically, people with vision impairments. So we talked about things needing to be perceivable. So you need to be able to see or hear them. And that helps people who have vision difficulties. It has people who are driving and want to listen to your content. If you have people with hearing impairments and you have a video, you need to make sure it's captioned. That also helps the person who's on the loud bus that doesn't have their headphones. They can still read the text in their hand. People with physical impairments, and this goes to that usability. Can you navigate through your content without a mouse? Will the tab get you everywhere it needs to go? Will a screen reader be able to read the content on your page? And it helps so many other people too. Web accessibility is very much part of the universal design, thinking about making sure that no matter what the situation, you have it set up so people with cognitive disabilities aren't overwhelmed. Distractibilities don't have issues of what do I have to look at? Give people focus. Let them know what it is that they're on your site for and keep their attention where it needs to be. Another benefit that we're seeing is for non-English speakers, non-native English speakers, they are able to follow along with video. Often it's easier to read in another language than it is to understand audio. And people who don't know your content and coming to it for the first time, it's important that you're using language that, unless you have a very special audience that you know knows exactly what you're talking about, make sure you're providing resources to help catch people up to where they need to be in your content. Okay, so why are we doing this? It's the right thing to do. It benefits everyone. It's better to start with accessibility as a priority and keep that in mind as you're developing course content and web content. It's so much easier to start there than to go back and have to change everything later. And it's the law. So it's the law. The ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act in 1990 basically said that everyone that has disabilities should have the same opportunities as everyone else. And this had a natural progression as the web world came into being, that it applies to them too, to it too. The Workforce Rehabilitation Act took that the step further and specifically said electronic communications, which includes web, documents, video, all that content that's out on the web in a digital format should be accessible to everyone. And that's specifically Section 508 referring to federal agencies, which some land-grant universities fall under. Some states have also set up their own standards. For the University of Iowa, we've instituted our own policy, and that says we want to adhere to the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines 2.0. Don't make this list. You can check this out sometime, but there's a lot of cases out there where lawsuits have arisen, and it's important to know and learn from them so that you can protect yourself. So you want your content to be perceivable, operable, usable, robust, poor. Do this because it helps everybody. Disabilities, non-disabilities, everyone benefits. And find out what you have to adhere to. There's different standards, and each of those have an extra level of work that would have to be done in the front end. So make sure that you are adhering to the level that you need to. If you need help, the W3C has great recommended resources and guidelines for the WCAG 2.0. WebAIM.org is a great resource as well. It has articles to explain more about why it's important and how it is impacting lives of people with disabilities. It has tools and other resources that you can find that are valuable. Also, find out who your local accessibility expert is. If it's a priority for your company or institution, they should have somebody that you can go to ask questions. And as always, go to Google. It's there. Thank you for watching this first video of why. I hope you watch the next one of how. And if you have any questions, you can tweet or email me. Thank you.